What's up guys, welcome to Daily Refinement. In today's video I want to talk about what's easy and what's hard about eBay, and I want to talk about an automated eBay business where it's completely passive for you. So please consider subscribing, smash the like button, let's get into it. As you guys know, I have two stores. I have the big store, 27,000 items. It's called Daily Refinement. It has 150 sales per day. I have a little store which I just started called Reseller Nirvana. It has 100 items in the store and it has 4 sales per day. So people have asked me, at what point do you get regular sales in your store? It depends on what you sell. For me, I started getting at least 1 sale per day once I hit 50 items. It would be the exact same if I was anonymous, because the reason why the sell-through rate would still be awesome is because I'm only looking for items that have an average sale price on eBay of over $30. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm spending more time finding items that sell for more money on eBay. That way I can actually discount the item if I want it to move faster. A lot of beginners make the mistake of picking up items that are profitable. I bought it for $1, I can sell it for $12. Now the problem with that is a $12 item, there's millions and millions of those items on eBay, so it's very, very saturated. When you get to the above $30 range, there's a lot less of those items. So if you price your $30 item at $25, you're much more likely to sell it than a $12 item you discount to even $5. There's plenty of items I have in my big store that are $12 that I have to wait 10 months to sell because there's just so many other people selling the exact same item. On an expensive item though, if you're just a few dollars below market, it's gonna sell instantly. That's what I did in my small store. It doesn't matter if you have a social media following or not. In fact, it probably hurts you if you have a social media following, because there's a lot of people who look at your store and don't buy anything. And that tells eBay there's something wrong with your store. So when you're small, you can go out, pick each individual item, find out on eBay, is this actually gonna sell? How much is it gonna sell for? I recommend a small, expensive item store in the beginning that you're selling below market so you can get that churn. You want your items to sell quickly so that you can reinvest it. I started the new store with $0. It's already had $3,600 in sales in about a month and a half. And at this point, it has enough capital to list 10 items per day, which is the goal of the little store, is to make $1,000 per week. It should reach that goal before month 3. Right now, I'm averaging 4 sales per day. I need 10 sales per day to reach that goal at $10 profit per day, and I'll get there pretty soon. So the big store, much, much more difficult, and I'll explain why. Because I need to list 1,000 items per week, I can't be as picky. So I'm picking up items that are kind of questionable that I would never pick up in my small store, because in my small store, I'm doing all the work myself. I only want to list awesome items. In the big store, I can't be that picky and choosy because I have 2 people working for me and they want to come to work whether or not I can find the items. So I pick up items to make sure they can get their 1,000 items up per week. There's also the overhead of running a 1,200 square foot building. So I have the electricity, I have the internet, I have to pay the storage unit, the cost for it. I have a commercial storage unit, which means I can do light commercial work here. If you are at a residential storage unit, you will not be able to use electricity unless you provide it on your own, and even then they may not allow you to work there. Here in my storage unit, every single person here is a business. Everyone works out of their storage unit because it's a light commercial license. So it depends on what kind of unit you have, whether or not you can get electricity in your unit, but that costs more than just a residential storage unit. So I'm paying for a facility, I'm paying for 2 people. Whether or not they feel like working is all my responsibility. If something happens in their personal life, that's my problem too. I have to make sure they get paid. I have to make sure the items, I have to make sure that the workplace is safe. Also, this is the hardest part of having employees. You have to make sure the quality control is up to par. They have to take photos that are good enough for buyers to buy. They have to write listings that are good enough for buyers to buy. And this is sort of the breakdown on the numbers, in my opinion. I would say if you purchase items bulk, liquidation style, right? You're getting items that come in. They're gonna have some items that are great, some items that are unsellable. So when you average that all together, you're gonna make between $1 and $10 profit per item on a bulk purchase, right? So if you get the $1 to $10 and now you subtract the people required to do that. So maybe somebody sorts and tests it for you, somebody cleans it, somebody photographs it, somebody lists it, somebody ships it, somebody does customer service. I would say that costs around $3 if you live in a reasonable place in America and you're really good at hiring and you're really good at processes. Let's just say it's $3 for someone to do that. Facility wise, let's say it's 50 cents per item. Now you're into the item $3.50 just for your overhead part, not including your own time. So $3.50. So now you're making between negative $2.50 and $7 per item once you're buying bulk, right? Now you have to account for items that never sell, and you have to account for promoted listings or any other marketing that you do, and you have to account for you slowly discounting your items over time so that they eventually sell. Running a large operation where you have tens of thousands of items costs over $100,000 to get started. This is not an easy operation to start. I would say that my store could, at this stage, is doing $1 million a year, so over $100,000 per month. It costs literally six figures to get it off the ground. It's not that easy to get started because you've got to train all these people. While you're training those people, you're losing your own productivity. So it's like you get this dip. You hire someone, you actually make less money in the beginning until they can overcompensate how much time that you used to be working on your business. So a lot of people, what they do is when they hire someone, they take their foot off the gas, they stop working. So now you have somebody who is not as good at your job who replaced you. So now you have your resale business is not running as well as when you were doing it by yourself, and it costs more, right? So imagine that every single time you hire someone, you basically have this huge expense of hiring somebody plus your reduced productivity, and you have to deal with that until you get past that hump. So very, very difficult to have employees, very, very difficult to do the overhead, very, very difficult to buy inventory in bulk because you don't really know what you're getting. So right now, I've basically circumvented that by choosing my own items, right? So I go out and I find all the items by myself, and I do the quality control before I launch the listing. So I'm still doing the very beginning part of it and the very end part of it, and I also do all the shipping currently. So I'm making up for it. It's kind of like a Subway sandwich shop where I'm the owner and I'm doing some of the work here or there. That's how I look at it. Now here's the thing. A lot of people think they can run a Subway franchise just because they've eaten at a Subway franchise. That really has nothing to do with how you run a Subway franchise store. But because of the internet, people watch the videos and they say, you know what, I could do that too without doing all the work required. The average Subway franchise owner only makes $70,000 a year, and they invest $200,000 into starting a Subway just to make $70K a year. And now there's people online that can tell you with their course that costs $1,500, you too can make $100,000 a year reselling. But honestly, there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of moving parts. Getting this business to where it's actually automated is insanely difficult. So I have been talking about eBay online for about 5 years now. I've only met a couple of people who have a business that's mostly hands-off. Most of the people are owner-operators like myself. So essentially, this is not a business for me. It's just a glorified job. If I'm going to be completely honest with myself, this is just a high-paying job. In my little store, I make about $75 an hour because I'm doing all the work. In the big store, I make several $100s an hour because I've leveraged two people to work for me. But which is easier? Doing it by myself for $75 an hour, way easier. No headaches. I don't have to deal with any quality control problems. Every single item I put in the store will sell, and it will sell quickly. The new store actually has a 100% sell-through rate, meaning all the items will sell every single month on average because I get to hand pick and cherry pick every single item that goes into the store. When I get this big store going, I don't get to hand pick because I have to buy the best 1,000 items I can to funnel and fuel the store. It's not that easy. So I appreciate you guys. Running an eBay business is not easy. It is very simple and straightforward, but it's actually one of the most difficult things I've seen. Running a resale business is not easy. So I appreciate you guys. Smash the like button. Join my Facebook mentorship in the description below. Take care.